What's up YouTube? Game888 here with another combo tutorial video for Pendulum Magicians. Just as in the previous videos, I have a lot of requests to do test hands in my deck, and I'm fulfilling that wish actually. So yeah, I'm just gonna do another, I hope 2 test hands in this video and wrap that up, I guess. Already put up 2 videos where I didn't brick. I might brick in one of these, but we'll see. So I've shuffled the deck up and let's get into it, I guess. So first 5 cards: Gate 0, Pendulum Call, the Rank Up Magic Launch, Jackal King, and Mythical Beastmaster Cerberus. So we do have one starter card, which is really good. We don't have anything that can be normal summon then, but we do have the Pendulum Call, so we're going to go into it. Cerberus' effect. I do realize that I might be Ash Blossomed right here, and that could be detrimental. But if I get Ashed on the Cerberus, I still have a Pendulum Call, I can go for a high scale, and I would still have a couple of options, so that would still be decent. I could go for a... yeah, I could still go for Vortex Dragon, so maybe with a Jackal King backed up and go from there. So at this point, Jackal King, special to Master Cerberus. I'm going to Pendulum Call right here, and I'm going to get rid of this Jackal King because I feel like I'm going to need the Gate 0. Oh, Pendulum Call. At this point I'm gonna go with a Harmonizing, because Harmonizing is always necessary. And I'm going... I already have to look, because I'm going to put away this. I have to normal summon one of the monsters that I'm searching, so I might have to not go into the Zephyr Neo, just because else I'm not going to be able to go further along with my plays. So I'm going for a Black Fang right here. I'm going to normal summon Harmonizing. I'm going to make Electromite. At this point, Electromite's effect. Of course, the way I see it, my priorities are the Pendulum Summon is the most important, the Harmonizing is the second one, and the Zephyr Neo is actually just as important as the Harmonizing. Just have to make a choice there. I do think at this point that I have to make another plus, because else I'm not gonna get there. So I'm gonna go with the Oak Dragon Magician. And I'm going to scale the 0. I'm going to use the effect of the Electromite. I'm going to add back the Oak Dragon. At this point, Electromite triggers. I'm going to get a draw. And I draw the Zephyr Neo. Like, look at that luck. No one's ever gonna get that lucky again. Oak Dragon and Black Fang the scale. Adding the Harmonizing to my hand. And then Pendulum Summoning. Now, as you might remember from a previous video, I always say to try and summon the Zephyr Neo and the Absolute Dragon in these zones. But at this point, because I have the Zephyr Neo in my hand instead of the extra deck, I'm going to summon the Zephyr Neo in the far right for you guys. And I'm just going to summon the Jackal King in the link marker from the Electromite. I think this zone is the least important at this point. And I'm going to summon the Harmonizing right here. You might have to think about this, because this could really be important. This zone has to be free at all time. As soon as you make an absolute, this thing has to be free again. So you always try to get a level 7 right here. So Harmonizing Chainlink 1, Zephyr Neo Chainlink 2. Going to search all the cards that you need. So Zephyr Divine Strike, and special the Janke Magician. If we have the Black Fang in the scale, I really tend to go for Janke Magician. Just in case something happens, you can still summon it back. Of course, we do have a Jackal King in the grave as well, but we already have a Jackal King on field as well, so we don't really have to look into that. Now, at this point, make an Absolute, and it's all the same from here. So we're going to use the Zephyr and the Absolute to make our underclock. And this is why it's important to keep this zone free. The Absolute is going to trigger, you're going to summon the Vortex right here again. At this point, I have to think. I don't think I can go into the... I didn't have another level 4, which is kinda weird. But hey, that happens. So yeah, we're gonna go with the PK link. You're gonna use this effect. We're gonna set the shade Burgundy. By sending the cloak. We're going to use the cloak's effect, so we banish it. It's kind of weird where to put everything every time. Adding the silent boots. Now at this time I am thinking of what to do. Could go for another link. I'll special the boots. I'm gonna go and make a Deco Talker. It's like fairly standard. Yeah, the lack of a level 4. Would you look at that? At this point, boots effect. So you banish it. You're going to add the Fog Blade. Now what? I'm going to summon the Deco Talker right here. That way, I have the Shade Burgundy to special summon it to a Deco Talker zone, just in case. And I have 2 more traps. So while I'm keeping the PK rank up magic in my hand for next turn, I still have a Vortex, I have a Jackal King, I have the Shade Burgundy to put in another Deco Talker zone, just for another negate. And I have the Zephyr Divine Strike and a Fog Blade. So while I couldn't go for Azathoth play, which is sad because I just didn't have enough level 4s, I definitely still have a decent field. Now with the Harmonizing, I could have gone into another level 4, but then I wouldn't have been able to go into Vortex Dragon. So yeah, there would have been that. It's always something, but I'm not really sure as of now which would be better, the Vortex or the Azathoth. I have enough monster negation in the Fog Blade, in the Jackal King, and possibly into the Vortex, the Divine Strike and the Deco Talker as well, so I'm pretty sure this field will do it until next turn at least. where I can draw a card, which is a pseudo, by the way. I get back the harmonizing with the Overdragon, and I can still do all my plays. So it's definitely not a bad field. Could have been better, I guess. Maybe I misplayed somewhere, I don't know. But in general, I'm still liking this field. So yeah, that was the first test hand. It kind of was a weird one with the drawing the PK spell already. Of course, I can't complain about one bad card in hand, right? And I drew the Zephyr, so that was something. Of course, if I had drawn a level 4, I would have had the Azathoth, so that might have been even better, so yeah. Let's see for our second opening hand. We have Purple Poison Magician. We have Darkworm, Chronograph, Boots, and Wisdom Eye. It's actually a good hand. So now I think there's a better way to go for than to normal summon the Darkworm and use the Chronograph to go for Time Gazer. I'm gonna go with Purple Poison, Wisdom Eye. I'm gonna use Wisdom Eye's effect. Gonna put harmonizing in the scale, and at resolution I'm going to use Chronograph, summoning it with the Darkworm. Now Darkworm will trigger here and you'll get the gate 0. Gonna make Electromite. And you're going to use the Electromite's effect to send Zephyr. As I said, I really like to send Zephyr. It's a good card, you get one card negate out of it, so why not, right? Effect of the Electromite, and I'm going to pop the Harmonizing Magician. And I'm going to add... It's so awkward. Going to add Chronograph. Effect of the Electromite gives me a draw. And it's Jackal King. So at this point, Chronograph in the scale. I'm going to Pendulum summon. So I'll summon the Zephyr, I'll summon a Darkworm, and from my hand I'll summon the Gate 0, the Jackal King, and the Boots. Zephyr is going to trigger. So you're getting Zephyr Divine Strike. Wow, I really don't have another level 4. I'm gonna have to keep the Darkworm. It's gonna be important. I'm going to link away the Boots with the Zephyr. I'm gonna make Underclock. And then with the Underclock and the 0, I'm going to make the PK link. Now at this point, PK Link's effect, going to send a cloak to add the shade Burgundy. Activate shade Burgundy, special summon it, overlay with the Darkworm, and you're going to go into your Time Thief Redoer. So you special summon it. At this point, Boots effect, so you banish it, and you're getting the rank up magic to your hand. One sec. with the boots I'm actually going to add a fog blade. Now, fog blade. The reason I do this is because boots can only add one Phantom Knight spell and trap to your hand, and then there's the cloak. So you use the cloak's effect, so you banish it, and that card can add one D Phantom Knight cards to your hand. And how funny is it? The rank up Magic's card is actually called the Phantom Knight's rank up. So basically, with cloak you can also search your spell card. Which is good. It gives you an additional plus even though you opened with the boots and the cloak. So you now have these three in your hand. You have the Time Thief on your field. You have a Jackal King, you have the Shade Burgundy. So I'm going to use the Chronograph's effect because I really want a Deco Talker on my field. I'm going to summon the Time Gazer. I misplayed a little bit. I should have put the Jackal King in the outer zone, not straight next to the Burgundy. It's my fault. I'm gonna keep it that way, but it should have been here, and I should have summoned the Gate 0 right here. Just swap them around. I'm gonna use these two for a link. I'm gonna make Deco Talker. And at that point, you could have summoned the Deco Talker like right here, basically having it like this. Which would have been way better. And you're going to use the Time Thief to detach, banish itself, setting 3 cards. And then in the end phase this thing returns. Doesn't even matter where you put it. And then as soon as their turn begins, you have the Fog Blade to stop an effect. You have the Zephyr Divine Strike. You have the Deco Talker pointing to 2 cards. If you want to keep it like this, then just go that way. I mean, it doesn't really matter. And as soon as they do something, and you go with the rank up magic to rank up into the Azathoth, you can once again with the PK link pop a card. But you also get 2 more counters on the Jackal King, so it would actually be live. It was a weird way to get to this field. And instead of a Vortex we have a Jackal King, but it still worked out because we also got another Fog Blade, so we have something to stop attacks. You never know when that comes in handy. And we also have Purple Poison alongside the Jackal King, so if they try to attack the Jackal King we can just pop this. Destroy something else on the field and go from there. Our top card from the deck is going to be Dragon Shrine, so we can go for Destrudo and go from there, but yeah, pretty much it's OTK anyway, because this is already enough. They all have over 2000 attacks, so more than enough to make game. That's it for the second test hand. 18 minutes in, I think that's enough. It's an other field to make, but I like it nonetheless. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, see ya.